So this is from, I won't name the name, but a guy who is talking about, when we mentioned the other week, the golf cheats and, could you even film golf cheats, etc. This person who I won't name said, you discussed, would it be possible to set up a camera to catch cheaters out? We had a similar issue at my club in Ireland. There were suspicion around a certain individual, and by chance, another member's house is built on the side of the 6th fairway overlooking the green. The member who owned the house happened to be reviewing his CCTV, sounds very fishy, happened to be reviewing his CCTV, and said that said individual was playing that hole, the 6, during a competition. The CCTV showed the player getting to the green before their playing partners, lifting the golf ball up, put it in the pocket, and throwing his ball marker down closer to the hole. Quite a good little trick, that. Get to the green before your playing partners, pick up your ball, pocket it, lash your coin down closer. That's where your ball finished. However, this was caught on CCTV, and we handed it into the golf club, and the person was excluded from the golf club as a result. So there you go. If you are going to cheat, be aware of any local CCTV.
Maybe we could be the official podcast of giving tips to cheaters.
Oh, yeah, I like that. You know what, though? I've heard this before. I've heard many moons ago at my golf club where there's been sniffings of cheaters before. There was one bloke who I won't mention, and then thankfully I can't remember his name. However...
That's why you won't mention it.
Yeah. However, he used to play in the midweek comp on a Wednesday with some seniors, and there's one hole, the 7th hole, uphill dogleg to the right, and he'd often hit his second shot onto the green and walk up there well before they could. Quite hilly, so they would be out of breath, taking the time. He'd get up there really quickly and do exactly this. Apparently people had seen him. He'd pick up his ball quickly and just launch his ball marker closer. His playing partners were none the wiser.
Wow.
So that's a free cheating tip for anyone that wants it.
There's a question here. Interestingly, I read the question but didn't read who it's from. And I'm like, oh, he's got the same name as someone we know. And it's actually that person.
No way.
Right? So this is the question. I'll come on to who it's in a minute. Is it time to ban aim point? Okay. No more time wasting, stomping around, straddling the line of a putt. Okay. And there's quite a few people who replied to that. Kind of.
Back and yes and no's.
Yeah. I would say it's swaying slightly into more towards negative than positive.
Give me a 15-second breakdown of aim point for people listening who don't quite understand it.
Aim point is a method of reading the green by using your feet rather than your eyes. Okay. And I've used it on and off genuinely for about 10 years plus. In fact, more than that. I very first did an aim point session. God, I reckon it was 13 years ago. I think you would use what I would call diet aim point 0. So it's kind of like you're not the full fat version. The real aim point that I learned years ago, that was time consuming. You used to have a little book. You'd have to find out the low point, the high point. You'd have to figure out where you are on this kind of 360 degree diagram. It was very, very time consuming. So I get that. Over the last few years, they've introduced Aim Point Express, which is a much, much, much faster method of it now. I use Aim Point, but I don't particularly use the fingers. Straight to the hole. So basically, when you read the putt with your feet, you are determining the degree of slope that you stood on, whether it's 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, etc. And if you're a 1 degree, you then put one finger up, and that's where you aim. Compared to, like, you have the left side of the finger on the hole, the right side of the finger is where you aim. If it's a 2 degree slope, you do 2 fingers, 3 degree slope, etc. I've played with a lot of people who use it now. It doesn't offend me. I use it. I don't particularly do the fingers. I will straddle the line and learn the putt. I think it dramatically improved my green reading ability. I think I'm a much, 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 much better green reader now, and therefore have become the greatest putter in the world, which you'll see from the videos coming out soon. Genuinely best putter in the world. So I won't be stopping doing it for anybody. Even if it gets banned, I will go to a
You'll cheat
remote island.
You'll cheat. If you have to cheat, you will cheat.
If I've got to aim point, I will aim point.
And who was the correspondent?
Really not who I expected. Come on. Okay. So the name is Robin Heisman.
Oh, it is Robin Heisman.
And I thought, oh, no way. That's the golf architect who designed JCB, who we've had on the podcast.
Yeah,
thought,
very nice bloke.
How weird is that? What a coincidence. And it's not a picture of him. It's a picture of a robin, a red robin.
Oh yeah, it's called Robin.
Oh my God. You were thinking for a minute, why on earth has Robin Heisman got a Robin as his picture, and you've only just, after about 5 minutes, twigged?
I was looking at it going, quite festive. Robin Heisman from European Golf Design.
Wow.
So someone who designs golf courses with very interesting, hard-to-read greens.
Maybe he perceives it as cheating.
Maybe he does.
You got to use your eyes to understand the green.
So yeah, it's quite 50-50. There's a lot of people. It's funny. People who don't do it and don't understand it totally disagree with it. People who do the method and agree with it, obviously, are saying it's a really good method.
You know, go on, sorry.
I personally think it's quicker.
You know what, though? I think probably you're in the same boat as me. I feel sometimes these questions now in a little bit underqualified to answer them because I have many opinions on these things. But actually, imagine if me and you or whatever were actual members of a golf club, paying members, and we're playing on a Saturday comp at 11:30, our preferred tee time. We get to the third hole, and in front of us was Barry, who is off 25, nice bloke, whatever, and he's doing aim point in every green. And we get to the third green, and suddenly he's taking 5 minutes over a putt, and you can see him doing all this business with his fingers and larking around the green. Would that then maybe change your perception of aim point because of how he's doing it?
Yes.
That might be the issue some of these people are having, you see. No one would want to ban it, I wouldn't imagine, if it was making golf quicker, because they'd be like, yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's definitely, I know a few individuals who, I won't mention names, who will laser a flag. Mm-hmm. They'll GPS watch it. They'll have a bloody yardstick working it out. They'll have a wind barometer, and that slows up play. I get that. And then they'll get to the green, and they've already had 15 shots to get to the green, and then they're starting to aim point and getting the book out, and I get that. It's hard, isn't it?
But then if it makes you hole more putts, surely that's got to be quicker.
It has, but as long as people are doing it quickly.
Yeah, fair dues.